So here are some quick tips and tricks to hopefully help you out in the Division 2. So if you take a control point, you know the little red flag icon on the map, if you take one of these control points, there will be a supply room or loot room containing several crates of loot. Don't open these until you've reached max level or a higher level at least, because the gear adjusts to your current level, so they'll be much more worth it if you come back here later on rather than looting them towards the beginning of the game. Some of the engineer enemies will throw down turrets. These turrets actually have an ammo box beside them, and if you shoot it, they'll run out of ammo and can't shoot you. If you're looking at your inventory, you'll notice that some of the gear has a little image in the background, like some letters or a sword or an anchor or something like that. This icon represents the brand. If you open up the inventory of like the body armor or whatever armor you're looking at that has a brand on it and hover over the one with the brand, you can see on the right hand side the brand set bonuses. It'll say brand set 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, or 3 out of 3 depending on how many of that set you have. If you have a full set 3 out of 3, it would say brand set 3 out of 3. For this brand of knee pads called Providence Defense with the anchor icon, I have 3 different pieces equipped, meaning I'll get a 10% bonus to skill power, 8% more health, and 5% more weapon damage. You can also look lower and see the talents and attributes of each different piece of gear, which are bonuses specific to that piece. So don't just look at the armor rating and think, wow, this one's way worse than that one, because this one has 3k armor and that one has 2.8k armor. The extra bonus skills and all of that make a big difference. If you go into your inventory and click any piece of gear, you can press L3 or whatever your options key says down at the bottom to open up an options menu. Here you can change your grid view to on. This makes your inventory a lot more organized, especially if you have a lot of loot and don't want to be scrolling around. This definitely depends on your preference though. I would say on console this helps a lot. I definitely like the grid view a lot better than the regular view. If you kill that engineer enemy that throws down turrets in the middle of a fight, the turret will actually switch sides and work for you now, shooting the other enemies. Make sure you occasionally open up the progression menu and turn in all of your commendations by hitting claim reward by holding square or X on Xbox One or whatever key it says down at the bottom. These can be found again on the progression screen a few tabs over on the medal icon. Try to check these every so often and do them, because it takes a while to sit here and turn these all in. You have to sit here and hold a button down over and over and over again. When you're deconstructing items in your inventory for materials, instead of deconstructing each one individually, you can just tap left trigger or L2 on each one, and then when you tap it on everything you want to deconstruct, then hold R3 to destroy all of it at once. You can actually select all of the body armors, click back, select all of the gloves you want to destroy, click back, do all the backpacks, and then hold R3 to destroy all of those all at once. The skill called Hiver works exactly how it sounds like. You can revive an ally with it, or as long as it hasn't been recently used and is not cooling down, it'll automatically revive you when you go down without you having to do anything. This is awesome for solo players, and even if you have a full squad, since they won't have to come over and revive you in the middle of a fight. However, this does not seem to work in the dark zone. While using your healing drone, you can tap RB or R1 while looking at a teammate to send the drone over to them and heal them. You may have already known that, but they don't really tell you how to call it back again when you want to be healed again. All you have to do is double tap RB or R1, the same button that you used to call out the drone in the first place. Same goes for seeker mines. If you throw a seeker mine and change your mind, you can double tap RB or R1 to call it back. You can roll one at an enemy to scare him out of cover and then call it back before it explodes. And if you didn't know already, you can hold RB or R1 to put the heal drone away, and the cooldown time will be less than usual. The same goes for most of the skills. Go into your settings and go to controls and change the move around corner speed to fast. This makes it so that moving around corners while behind cover is much faster. This is another thing that's kind of preference, but I think you should definitely change it. This will help out a lot. The last tip is, if you get a good perk on a piece of gear, like weapon damage, keep it and don't sell it or deconstruct it, because you can actually place it on another piece of gear later on by using recalibration. You'll eventually unlock recalibration and be able to access it at the White House. But that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other additional tips and tricks, make sure you leave them down in the comments. If these tips helped, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more Division 2 videos. See ya.